This video is about the 4 interstates that have auxiliary highways that go into a state that they don't go in. And then we're going to talk about why that happened. So, we have Interstate 29, 35, 75, and 87. So, as for Interstate 29, the extension goes from, I believe, from Sioux City, Iowa to South Sioux Falls, Nebraska. Though it might connect to Omaha, I'm not totally sure what it is. It's Interstate 129, and it connects to Nebraska. It's only about a 5-kilometer highway, and the final 450 meters connects Nebraska to Interstate 29. It crosses the Missouri River. It is entirely concurrent with U.S. routes 20 and 75 and partially with 77. We also have Interstate 535, which is even shorter. It's less than even 4 kilometers and spans around 2 of them in Wisconsin and 2 in Minnesota, and connects Interstate 35 in Duluth, Minnesota, close to its termini at MN61 to Wisconsin. It is entirely concurrent with US 53 and crosses the river, although I'm not exactly sure what it is. Interstate 75 also has one. Interstate 275, the Cincinnati Beltway. This is actually a more respectable road, 83 miles. It knows what it's talking about. And yes, I will use miles and kilometers interchangeably, and you just have to deal with it. Seriously though. Interstate 275 is the Cincinnati Beltway. So, obviously it goes through Ohio and Kentucky. But the thing is that Interstate 75 goes through both of them too. However, it also goes into Indiana for one exit, exit 16, and connects to Indiana State Route 1, which goes towards US 50, which also goes to Cincinnati, as well as US 52, meaning that they probably have some sort of a cross in Cincinnati or somewhere nearby. It has a concurrency with Interstate 74 and US 52, although I don't think 71, it is entirely possible. But it does go into Indiana and has a link to the rest of the state. By the way, Indiana State Route 1, they actually have a sort of interstate system. So 1 essentially just means that's the easternmost route in the state, which makes sense considering that Cincinnati isn't all that close to Indiana. And it's literally there for a mile. Maybe even less. There's literally 1 exit in Indiana. And the final one is Interstate 287. Ending just 800 meters away from the Connecticut border. This is a beast, 100-mile, 160-kilometer road. It goes from, it ends at I-95 at 2 places, and has a concurrency with I-87 from Tarrytown to Suffern. If they built a bridge, connecting Monmouth County directly to Richmond County, and then a Long Island Sound tunnel, which is unlikely. There could actually be potential for a full New York Beltway. I mean, a lot of cities have them. I mean, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. The Hampton Roads, kinda. It's on multiple routes, though. Same for Harrisburg. Well, the thing is that the reason why a lot of cities lack beltways is because they're too close to a large body of water. Chicago lays on Lake Michigan. New York and Boston both lay on the Atlantic Ocean. Philadelphia, I think they're planning on extending 295 into a beltway. But, like, that's the thing. Like it was extended into Pennsylvania, but 95 already exists in Pennsylvania. In fact, even if they were to extend it to Maryland, which is unlikely, it still wouldn't qualify for having this, because 95 also exists in Maryland. That's the annoying thing. I mean, in some points it makes sense why can't you just have it extended, and that's why they are at some points when they're really close to another state. And a lot of points, though, it doesn't make sense. Interstate 287 ends at 95 at one point in Vine, New York, and another one in Edison, New Jersey. But 87 does not leave the state of New York. It goes across the entire state of New York, but it does not leave the state of New York. It actually gets really close, and that's where 287 goes into New Jersey. We're talking 650 meters from I-87 north, but if you're heading south, it is a mere 110 meters from the border. Immediately on the other side is New Jersey. So then why doesn't it go? So then why doesn't 87 go into New Jersey? It can't. I-87 has 23 exits of the thruway. Technically 24, but it goes from exits 1 to 24 on the thruway. That measures it from the New York City border up to Interstate 90 in Albany, which does not have a beltway. So even though exit 15 and 15A sound like they should be pretty far up along, it's actually in reality not. In fact, it's approximately, I'm not sure, I think 45 miles on a 150 mile route. That's around 30%. It's approximately 30% of the entire route. And you might be wondering, well, what's wrong with 30%? Nothing, but it's disproportionate. It makes it seem like you're over 60% done with the highway, but in reality, you're only a little over 30%. It's just that here, exits are few and far between. Drives on the thruway get depressing when you're not in areas such as Westchester and Rockland. Like, I'd say the entire stretch of the thruway all the way up to 287 and NY17 is a very urban area. You see tons of traffic on it a lot of times. It's a very urban and dense area. I'd say it becomes depressing until you get into Albany County. And then from there, I'd say the stress from the Berkshire connector to 88 is reasonable. You know, but still. So even though it's long, 87 gets close to New Jersey and 75 is the farthest. But the 75 system, I don't know. I don't know why though, because like there are a lot of other states that I think would be even a better fit. I believe Interstate 80 could very easily have an auxiliary that goes into Colorado. Come off! She's so close. Come off. So no, oh thank God it finally came off. Anyway, Interstate 70, anyway, so I think Interstate 80, because the reason why 76 is kind of a spur of 80, although it's way too long to be one, and it connects with Interstate 70, but it spends, I think, like 5.3 kilometers in Nebraska and ends at I-80, and the rest of the route's in Colorado, which 80 does not go into. I think I-229 could easily cross the Missouri River and go into Kansas. And the one in South Dakota could probably easily go into Minnesota. It wouldn't be that hard for either I-80 or I-90 to have an auxiliary to expand the system into Michigan. And same for I-69 in Ohio, because it's really funny, but 80 and 90 get within 2 miles of Michigan but don't enter, whereas 69 gets within 2 miles of Ohio but doesn't enter. In my opinion, though, like there's a lot of stuff that can be done.